Welcome students to the second video lecture of chapter 9 Soil. In the previous lecture we have already discussed about formation and composition of soil and soil profile. Now we will move on to types of soil. On the basis of size of the rock particles, soil is classified into three main categories: sandy soil, clay soil and loamy soil. So first is the sandy soil. It contains large amount of sand and very less amount of silt and clay. It is very well aerated and have large spaces, because of which it cannot hold much water. It also lacks humus, so it is not suitable for growing crops. Second is the clay soil, which mainly contains clay, a very little amount of sand and silt. Clay soil has little air space and very good water holding capacity. The third is the loamy soil. It contains an equal amount of sand and clay. It is dark brown and slightly coarse in appearance. It also has right water holding capacity, adequate air space and sufficient amount of humus. So it is very good for the production of crops. Now we will move on to some of the properties of soil. The very first is the percolation of water. Now what is percolation? It is the process in which water passes down slowly through the soil, or we can say the seepage down of water through soil. We can show this by an activity. If we take a PVC pipe of 20 cm long and 5 cm in diameter and place it in the ground. Now pour about 200 ml of water slowly into it, and now note down the time taken by the water to percolate or seepage down inside the soil. Now through this activity we can calculate the rate of percolation, which may differ from soil to soil. The rate of percolation is the amount of water divided by the percolation time. Now the second property is moisture in the soil. Soil contains moisture. This we can also prove by an activity. If we take a boiling tube or any beaker and keep some soil in it, cover it with a lid and start heating it. After some time, we can easily see that some water droplets get condenses on the lid. This shows that soil contains moisture which get evaporated on heating and get condensed on the lid. Now the third property is the absorption of water by the soil. Soil absorbs water and clay soil absorbs more water and sandy soil absorbs less water. We can also show this by an activity. Take a funnel, fold a filter paper and keep it in the funnel. Now weigh about 50 grams or 25 grams of soil and keep it in the funnel. Now a measured amount of water was poured in the funnel funnel was kept in the beaker. And now if we poured a measuring amount of water into the soil, we will find that the water start dripping out from the soil and get collected in the beaker. After the whole water was dripped out, if we measure the amount of water in the beaker and the amount of water which we poured in the soil is different. The amount collected in the beaker will always be lesser than amount of water which we poured inside the soil. So this shows that some of the water get holded into the soil. That means soil can absorb water. We can also calculate percentage of water absorbed. The formula for it is the initial volume of water poured minus the final volume of water collected in the beaker divided by the weight of the soil, and the whole quantity was again multiplied by 100 to convert it into percentage. Now we will move on to soil and crops. They are mutually interdependent because without soil, crops cannot be generated. So clay soil has a very good capacity to retain water, thus it is required for growing paddy. Water drains out from the loamy soil easily, so it is required for growing lentils. Loamy soil or sandy loamy soil can hold plenty of air and drain out water, so it is required for growing cotton. Clay and loamy soil have good water retaining capacity, so they are suitable for the growing cereals and like wheat and gram. So different crops need different kind of soil. Now students, we all are the part of this environment, and soil is the basic component of the environment. So to keep our environment clean and beautiful, we must take care of the soil also by avoiding use of plastic and throwing plastic in the soil, which reduces the fertility of the soil. Reduction of use of pesticide, because pesticides contains chemicals which also reduces the fertility of the soil. Treating of waste and chemicals before releasing into the soil, because they will again reduce the fertility. Now why fertility has been reduced and why it is so important? Because if the fertility gets reduced, no crop production has been done, no plantation has been done, and our environment will be destructed. So the best way to protect the soil pollution or any kind of pollution, air pollution also, it is the best way to plant a tree. So afforestation or planting more and more trees is the best way to protect our environment. So students, today definitely you all are going to plant a tree inside or nearby your house and protect our environment. Now we will meet in the next video, and I request you all to follow worksheet 4 for the exercise part of this chapter. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Thank you.